Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today I'll be going over the Figma Max Factory My Hero Academia Katsuki Bakugo, or you may know as Kachan, or, fun fact, King Explosion Murder. That was from a certain episode. This is him in his hero outfit, which doesn't have an official name. I know, like, some people were like, it's Ground Zero and stuff, but in the anime and the manga, they haven't really mentioned exactly what it is yet, unlike Midoriya, who has Deku, stuff like that. The main reason I got this guy is just because I really love the anime, and pretty much anything Figma I usually pick up if I at least enjoyed the anime for some portion of it anyways. And I was kind of concerned by this because they've been really slow at getting out My Hero Academia figures for this line, but as of now they have announced that they're doing a Gravity and a couple others, so pretty excited for those. So at least getting some of the class. And to be honest, I kind of thought they would be like way more pumping these up, because you can also do like the school uniforms and stuff, and there's a lot they could do with this, kind of like what they do with like the Madoka figures and a lot of other animes that they actually done. So like the McFarlane ones were kind of, they're okay. Like the All Might I thought was cool, but Midoriya and Kachan here were kind of like, now they got like the Bandai America ones coming up, and there's Revoltech ones coming up. So there's a lot of options for these guys, but Figma's usually my go-to. So anyways, without further ado, for the packaging, a lot of reds and blacks for it, but you can kind of see parts of Kachan here on a few of the sides here, but you do get to see the figure inside with most of its accessories. Got the My Hero Academia logo here on the bottom with his name. Side of the package, just got him striking a pose. Also, my box glue seam didn't really hold up there. Opposite side, him just in a more standard pose. Got him with some explosions and angry face. Bottom package, more of the same. And on the back, just him in some more dynamic poses and some stuff I can't understand. Some legal mumbo jumbo on the bottom. So let's get him open up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now we got Kachan open up out of his cardboard prison. First and foremost, I just want to say, I think this is the first time getting a Figma that, like, you open the package and I've actually had the, like, action figure smell. And I think it's the first time I experienced it. Usually you open them up, I don't really think I've ever noticed it, but Kachan definitely has some fumes with him, so to say, which I guess kind of makes sense for his exploding gimmick. Please don't fall over. You're kind of scary if you fall over. But anyways, for some of Kachan's accessories, I guess we're gonna start with the most important one, it seems, which we have the Figma stand, which goes right into the, well, it's like upper center of his back, like in between his shoulder blades. I'm not a fan, like, granted, they're anime accurate, but I am not a fan of these and having to try to insert that with those on. So I think I'm going to try to remove his head for a second, which I would recommend if you guys try to put this, because sometimes the first time you insert these, it's a bit of a chore, as you guys can see, and with both things being fairly breakable, I don't want to try to scuff this up at least as little as possible, because as you can see, it doesn't take much. So hold on a sec. Alright, so I got it in. You kind of have to go in at a weird angle. It's more or less like straight into the figure, but it's like the way you think it would attach isn't quite right. That, and I couldn't seem to get it all the way in even after heating it up with the decent amount of excess force. It still didn't feel like it really wanted to do what I wanted to. And I don't want to break it. So, where it's at, it seems like it's holding it pretty well. You also get this little attachment here, which I only primarily use for figures with like long hair, for the most part. But it does give you like a little bit of extra elevation and a different angle than what you get with this one. But for the most part, it's kind of unnecessary unless there's just something that gets in the way of the little arm joint here. But other than that, nothing too crazy. We've seen Figma stands a ton of times, and I always appreciate that they come with them, because without these, I probably have way more broken ones than I do, which is currently only one. Well, two, I guess. One is a broken stand. So next, I guess we'll start with this faces, which you get the standard smiling expression on the actual figure, which doesn't look too bad. Can't really, the lips kind of blend in a little bit with the skin there. It's not super defined, but then again, it's not like he's going to be having lipstick or anything, so I guess it works. Eyes look nice. He's got a little bit of a glare going on, but nothing too crazy. Just standard Kachan. And then when you want to take it off, again, like, oh, these things scare the crap out of me. Here you guys can see it without the hair on the top covering it. But he also comes with Screaming Angry Kachan, which I feel like if you're buying this figure, this is probably the one you're going to go with, because it's pretty the atypical look for Katsuki. Come on. Oh, that's a little harder to get in. But once you get attached, I gotta say, I do like this one. It's even got like the blood veins in the eyes, which looks nice. Teeth look pretty good. Could maybe be like a little bit of a brighter white, but not too shabby. And then for his hands, one thing that's kind of weird too, you guys can see them inside the package here, is it doesn't come with an arm stand, I guess. The little hand tree that you usually attach all your Figma hands to. This one just doesn't have it, but they have their own little plastic pegs going inside of them. So definitely gonna need the Figma bag to store those. But straight on the figure you get a pair of punching hands, a pair of open hands, a pair of clenched gripping hands. Sadly doesn't come with anything to really grab onto, but if you got things that you want him to hold, he's got options. And then finally another pair of gripping hands, which these are for the exploding effects, which you just got a peg hole on the bottom of the effect, peg in the hand, line it up, push it in. I don't know, that looks like that's probably for the other hand. Once you get them on our Kachan here, can rotate at the base of the forearm here, but you get him with his exploding hands, which pretty sweet. Nothing too extravagant, but for the most part, like him just standing here, I think these are very serviceable. And then you can still have him like charging in, exploding things like All Might's faces and stuff like that. And not too shabby. Pretty typical, kind of like the Essex Monster Arts way they do the effects. It's just a translucent plastic with some paint over top of it. Looks nice. This one's got a little bit of a scuff to it. So that is something to be concerned about if you guys do pick up this guy, that the paint can come off these fairly easily. But other than that, that's pretty much it for accessories. A little bit more than what we got with Midoriya, but nothing too crazy. Kind of wish he maybe would have came with like one extra faceplate, like one more option would have been kind of cool for this one. But for the most part, like, oh man, like his like closed mouth like scowl look would have been great for this one. Or like that. It's hard to say it with like make the sound that, but you know, like when he has like his like teeth kind of sort of exposed. But other than that, pretty sweet. And then going over the rest of the figure here, I'm actually going to take the exploding effects off, just to make my life a little easier. But just like we mentioned, face sculpt looks really nice. The hair looks pretty decent as well. There is some little sections you can kind of see where the seams for the way they attach the hair kind of stands out a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Like this section here on this side. You do see some of the mask peeking through on the side of the head here. And then the giant elaborate portion on the back here, which is probably the most, he's not, I guess it's probably the most terrifying thing, because if he falls backwards on these things, they're pretty like they're slightly thicker, so I can imagine they could maybe take a little bit of abuse, but the tips, I wouldn't really push that. But you do get this bright orange with this black on the centering here. The other section on here that's a little terrifying is his grenade gauntlets, which, again, tipping, I could see these breaking pretty easily. I was kind of hoping that they would be articulated, but it does not appear to be so. But you got the nice military green for the grenades here, with some gray for the metal bits. His hands, got the red on the palms with the green on the top section here. And then a little bit of the black and reds here for the forearms. For the chest, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be other than just looking like heavy metal. Well, he's got, I don't even know if it's metal, but just like this collar plated section with his red X on the chest with some flat black for the, I guess it's kind of like, I don't want to say a bodysuit. It's a very skin tight muscle shirt. With his grenades along his belt, which you get 4 of them, but they are permanently affixed with the green here for the belt, a little bit of reds. For the pants, this section is actually a soft rubber, so it can flex a little bit when you're articulating them. One thing I noticed with the articulation of this leg is actually super easy to pop out. This one's actually more on the stiffer side, but you get some more green here with some more pockets here on the legs. He has some knee pads, so he's not going to be scuffing those up. Imagine he's going to want to slide sometime. I don't know how, like, useful these ones would be, though. Like, they're not really rounded. Like, they got a lot of hard edges, so I imagine this still wouldn't really work that well as a knee pad, but still pretty neat. And then his boots here on the bottom with the strap on the top. Got some red dots here coming along the front of the boot with the red soles with some detail on the bottom, which is always appreciated. And pretty much it for the figure. Looks really nice. For the most part, though, the only thing that's really concerning for me mainly is a lot of these plastic bits that kind of hang off on it. I can see easily being breakable. And the black seems like it could scuff pretty easy, especially on the back here. So just be forewarned when trying to get your stand in. You're going to want to heat it up because if it starts going side to side, you're going to scuff that a decent amount. Like for the most part, I only felt like I went off once and still like some of the blacks definitely got that more shine from the scratches on it now. For his articulation, head can only look really about that far. Get a little bit down though. Get side to side motion. A little bit of a wiggle to it. Arms can go up about that far, down about that far. Rotate all the way around. Get a rotation here at the shoulder. A little bit of rotation at the elbow. Single bend at the elbow. You also get a rotation here at the gauntlets, which is odd, but this can actually pop off pretty easy too, as you guys can see. And then for its hands, not too much motion. You can rotate them. They're on a hinge, so you do get like a little bit of forward and back, but depending on the hands is really going to be how much articulation you're getting. A little bit of forward and back here at the chest. A little bit of side-to-side motion, rotation. Looks like a rotation at the waist as well. Not really much forward and back. Legs can go and try to shift it. Like I said, this one leg's kind of stiff, but go out about that far, in about that far. Decent forward kick. Not too much of a back kick though. Rotation at the top of the leg. Got a single joint at the knee. You also get a rotation at the boot. Foot can go forward and back. A little bit of rotation at the foot as well. And some articulation at the toes. And for some quick comparisons here, we have the Figma Katsuki compared next to some other My Hero Academia collectibles. Most importantly, the Figma Midoriya, and then the Band Presto Gravity, because there's only the one Figma currently, so that's why you're here. But looks pretty good next to the Deku, not gonna lie. I like that more or less the same size, but again, it's the same toy line. God, I hope they look good next to each other. Hey, here's next to the only other action figures currently that we have for My Hero Academia is the McFarlane ones with Kacchan and All Might, which I kind of like the size of All Might. Well, height-wise, like I wish he was bigger. He needs to be a little bit more bulky, or at least like jacked. Even though this is already kind of jacked, but like more so. And definitely scales better than what we have here with this Kacchan. Yeah, so like I just like that better than those ones. Like he was, But anyways, moving on. And here's next is some Figma figures with the Mikasa from Attack on Titan and Rika from SS Gridman. And here's next is some more Figmas with Amelia from ReZero and Goblin Slayer from Goblin Slayer. And for some random comparisons, here is next to some SH Figure Arts figures with Android 21 from Dragon Ball Z Fighters and Ultraman Belial from Ultraman Zero. So overall for the Figma My Hero Academia Kachan, this figure's pretty sweet. I kind of wish it had an extra faceplate, and some of the stuff is a little bit scary, but it's kind of to be expected on this dude. But other than that, like all the rest of the accessories he comes with, I think the detailing on him is really nice. And if you guys are into My Hero Academia, definitely recommend picking him up. He's definitely the best action figure we've gotten currently. Now, with the Bandai America ones coming out here sometime in the near future, that could change. There's also Revoltex making some more of these guys too. So it's great that we're finally getting some actual collectibles from this anime outside of just the Band Presto statues and such we've gotten previously. But yeah, like, you had to wait till season 4. And we're just now getting them, and then everybody makes the exact same figures. Or at least characters anyways. Oh, I just need to learn to accept things. But still. Just give me my Froppy already. I need her in my life. What do you guys think? If you guys picked up this figure, is Suyu best girl, or is Naruto just what you think? Please let us know in the comments section below. And we also have an Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, and Facebook if you guys like to keep up to date with the channel and donate. We'd greatly appreciate it. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a Ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.